Hi, I'm Sophie Rose Riopel, and I'll be declaiming I'm the People, the Mob by Carl Sandburg. I am the people, the mob, the crowd, the mass. Do you know that all the great work of the world is done through me? I'm the working man, the inventor, the maker of the world's food and clothes. I'm the audience that witnesses history. The Napoleons come from me, and the Lincolns. They die, and I send forth more Napoleons and Lincolns. I am the seed ground. I'm the prairie that will stand for much plowing. Terrible storms pass over me. I forget. The best of me is sucked out and wasted. I forget. Everything but death comes to me and makes me work and give up what I have. I forget. Sometimes I growl, shake myself, and spatter a few red drops for history to remember. Then I forget. When I, the people, learn to remember, when I, the people, use the lessons of yesterday and no longer forget who robbed me last year, who played me for a fool, then there will be no speaker in all the world say the name, the people, with any fleck of a sneer in his voice or any far-off smile of derision. The mob, the crowd, the mass will arrive then. Thank you.
Hi there, I'm Sarah Murphy, and I will be declaiming Emily Dickinson at the Poetry Slam by Dan Vera. I will tell you why she rarely ventured from her house. It happened like this. One day she took the train to Boston, made her way to the darkened room, put her name down in cursive script, and waited her turn. When they read her name aloud, she made her way to the stage, straightened the papers in her hand, pages and envelopes, the backs of grocery bills. She closed her eyes a minute, took a breath, and began. From her mouth, perfect words exploded, intact formulas of light and darkness. She dared to rhyme with words like cochineal and describe the skies like diadem. Obscurely worded incantations filled the room with an alchemy that made the very molecules quake. The solitary words she handled in her upstairs room with keen precision came rumbling out to make the electric lights flicker. 40 members of the crowd retreated for hypertension, and 20-year-old dark-haired beauties found their head had turned to Moses white. Her second poem erased the memory of every cell phone in the nightclub, and by the fourth line of the sixth verse, the grandmother in the upstairs apartment was cured of her rheumatism. The papers reported the power outages. The area hospitals taxed their emergency generators, and sirens were heard to wail through the night. Quietly, she made her way to the exit, walked to the terminal, and rode back to Amherst. She never left her room again, and never read such syllables aloud. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Lydia Taylor, and I'm going to be declaiming About Standing in Kinship by Kimberly Blazer. We all have the same little bones in our foot. 26 with funny names like navicular. Together, they build something strong. Our foot arch, a pyramid holding us up. The bones don't get cast when they break. We tape them, one flange to its neighbor for support. Other things like sorrow work that way too. Find healing in the leaning, the closeness. Our feet have 1/4 of all the bones in our body. Maybe we should give more honor to our feet and to all those tiny but blessed cogs in the world. Communities, the forgotten architecture of friendship. Thank you.
Hi, my name's Owen Clemens, and I will be reciting The Legend by Garrett Hongo. In Chicago, it is snowing softly, and a man has just done his wash for the week. He steps into the twilight of early evening, carrying a wrinkled shopping bag full of neatly folded clothes, and, for a moment, enjoys the feel of warm laundry and crinkled paper, flannel-like against his gloveless hands. There's a Rembrandt glow on his face, a triangle of orange in the hollow of his cheek, as a last flash of sunset blazes the storefronts and lit windows of the street. He is Asian, Thai or Vietnamese, and very skinny, dressed as one of the poor in rumpled suit pants and a plaid mackinaw, dingy and too large. He negotiates the slick of ice on the sidewalk by his car, opens the Fairlane's back door, leans to place the laundry in, and turns, for an instant, towards the flurry of footsteps and cries of pedestrians, as a boy, that's all he was, backs from the corner package store, shooting a pistol, firing at once at the dumbfounded man who falls forward, grabbing at his chest. A few sounds escape from his mouth, a babbling no one understands as people surround him, bewildered at his speech. The noises he makes are nothing to them. The boy has gone, lost in the light array of foot traffic dappling the snow with fresh prints. Tonight, I read about Descartes' grand courage to doubt everything except his own miraculous existence, and I feel so distinct from the wounded man lying on the concrete. I am ashamed. Let the night sky cover him as he dies. Let the weaver girl cross the bridge of heaven and take up his cold hands. Thank you.
My name is Lane Daniels, and I will be declaiming Movement Song by Audre Lorde. I have studied the tight curls on the back of your neck, moving away from me beyond anger or failure, your face in the evening schools of longing. Through mornings of wish and ripen, we were always saying goodbye, in the blood, in the bone, over coffee, before dashing for elevators, going in opposite directions, without goodbyes. Do not remember me as a bridge, nor a roof, as the maker of legends, nor as a trap door to that world where black and white clericals hang on the edge of beauty in 5 o'clock elevators, twitching their shoulders to avoid other flesh. And now there is someone to speak for them, moving away from me into tomorrow's morning of wish and ripen. Your goodbye is a promise of lightning in the last angel's hand, unwelcome and warning. The sands have run out against us. We were rewarded by journeys away from each other, into desire, into mornings alone, where excuse and endurance mingle, conceiving decision. Do not remember me as a disaster, nor as the keeper of secrets. I am a fellow in the cattle cars watching. You move slowly out of bed, saying we cannot waste time, only ourselves. Thank you.
My name is Pex Yusel, and I will be declaiming I Eat Breakfast to Begin the Day by Zubair Ahmed. I create time. I cannot create time. I'm frozen in place. I cannot be frozen. I'm moving, but don't notice. I notice me moving. I pay attention to the small yet immense yet small movements that guide my limbs, my hair growth, my joint oils. I don't think about it. I don't feel it either. I don't have emotions right now. I see films of divine quality. I don't see any films. This black, this not black to me, I am not, to me not. I walk with this hollowness. I walk with this blooming. I'm moving outward forever, onward, eternally inward. I create all objects like shampoos and cats. I create nothing like space and antimatter. I'm surrender to the clocks that keep time. I resign to the clocks that don't keep time. I'm sure about it, the color white. I'm not sure about it. What is word? Oh, the loops and unloops destiny unfolds in my knees. I eat breakfast to begin the day. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Graciela Liberty, and I'm going to be declaiming Song by Brenda Cardenas. You shout my name from beyond my dreams, beyond this picture window of this Rosarita beach house. Rushing from bed to shore, I glimpse their backs, volcanoes rising out of the sea. Your back, a blue-black silhouette, feet wet with the wash of morning waves. Fountains spew from mammal mines, my hands lifting a splash of sand. I'm on my knees, toes finding a cool prayer beneath them. My fingers pressing seafoam to my temples. While you open arms wide as a generation, raise them to a compass point. Dive. If you could reach them, you would ride their fins under the horizon, then surf the crash of waves left in their wake. And if I could grasp my own fears, I'd drown it, leave it breathless and blue as this ocean, and as the brilliant backs of whales surfacing for air. Thank you.
My name is Liam Taff, and I will be reciting Across the Bay by Donald Davy. A queer thing about those waters. There are no birds there, or hardly any. I did not miss them. I do not remember missing them or thinking it uncanny. The beach, so called, was a blinding splinter of limestone, a quarry outraged by hulls. We took pleasure in that. The emptiness, the hardness of the light, the silence, and the water's stillness. But this was the setting for one of our murderous scenes. This hurt and goes on hurting. The venomous, soft jelly, the undersides. We could stand the world if it were hard all over. Thank you.
I'm Jasmine Sanchez Torres, and I will be declaiming Spanglish by Tato Laviera. Pues estoy creando Spanglish. Bicultural systems, scientific lexicographical, intertextual integrations. Two expressions existentially wired, two dominant languages continentally abrazándose en colloquial combate. En las aceras del soil, Imperio Spanglish emerges, control bandidaje sobre territorio bilingual. Las novelas mexicanas mixing with radio rock and roll condimented cocina lore. Immigrant/migrant. Nasal mispronouncements, baraja, chismeteos, social club, hip-hop, Prieto street salsa, corner soul, inmixturando Spanish pop farándula. Standard English classroom. With computer technicalities, Spanglish is literally perfect. Spanglish is ethnically snobbish. Spanglish is cara holy inteligencia. Which U.S. slang do you speak? Thank you.
I'm Savannah Davis, and I will be reciting Blade Unplugged by Tim Seablace. It's true. I almost never smile. But that doesn't mean I'm not in love. My heart is that black violin played slowly. You know that moment late in a solo when the voice is so pure you can feel the blood in it? the wound between rage and complete surrender. That's where I'm smiling. You just can't see it. The sound bleeding perfectly inside me. The first time I killed a vampire, I was sad. I mean, we were almost family. But that's so many lives ago. I believe in the cry that cuts into the melody, the strings calling back the forgotten world. When I think of the madness that has made me and the midnight I walk inside all day long, when I think of that one note that breaks what's left of what's human in me, man, I love everything. Thank you.